And now we also have Premier Ford also sounding kind of like a conservative again. All of a sudden, after 10 years, Ontario Premier Doug Ford wants to see more pipelines.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got my opinions on this. We'll talk about them after.
Yeah.
Um, but why is Wob Canoe the one I like the most here? Like, this is bad. Anyway.
It just can't be business as usual. We have to move forward. We got elected on a strong mandate, and we have to compete against, not just around the world, but compete against President Trump and his tariffs. And the only way we can do that is if we get rid of C-69. It doesn't allow all of us across the country to move forward in a rapid speed. And I really appreciate what Prime Minister Carney mentioned yesterday. I personally feel he's going to move quick, but we all have to move quick, all the premiers, to get our economy going, make sure we give certainty to everyone across the country, not just our individual provinces and territories.
And I know we all have those big nation building projects in mind that we want to see get done. We all want a clean, safe, healthy environment for the future generations of Canada. We all love that as Canadians. I just think it's important for the Prime Minister to respond to the current moment and ensure that these big job-creating economic projects can move forward in a good way.
Why do I
Yeah.
like Wob Canoe the best? Like, I hope Wob Canoe becomes the federal party leader of the NDP, because while I probably disagree with him on 75% of issues, I don't think he's actually insane. And I appreciate his redemption arc. Yeah, he's got a storied backstory. But I feel like he is one of the more reasonable premiers in this country. He's certainly not a crazy person like David Eby, as far as NDP leaders go, or Naheed Nenshi here in Alberta. And he's pro oil and gas. Like, great. But Doug Ford to say, like, oh yeah, we got to scrap Bill C-69. Why the hell did you push forward the guy who's campaigned on keeping it? Like, he
Right.
campaigned for Mark Carney. Now you're all like, we got to get some pipelines built. Well, based on the fact that Stephen Guilbeault is still in cabinet and saying, we're not building any pipelines, we don't need any pipelines, and then having Julie DeBruce and the crazy lady that's over at Environment now, that's a pretty strong message to the rest of us at these nation-building pipeline projects that NDP Premier in Manitoba, Wob Canoe, thinks are valuable. Those aren't going to get built as long as Mark Carney's around.
Exactly. Yeah. Why didn't you just sit down and zip your mouth during the federal election instead of, working against the Conservatives who wanted to open up all of this economic force that we have literally just beneath our feet in Canada? And I mean, Doug Ford, better late than never, I seem to always say about Doug Ford and his flip-flop capabilities, where he's just kind of going wherever the political wind blows him. But yeah, where were you, 6 months ago, last year, 5 years ago, 6 weeks ago? Again, better late than never, Doug Ford. But I mean, you could have came out and started saying these things a long time ago.
He was the guy who was saying to Alberta that we were basically traitors because we weren't going to turn off oil and gas to the United States, which actually would have
Right.
resulted in turning off oil and gas to Ontario and Quebec, but he's not bright enough to know that. And so now he's all pro pipeline,
Well, I think he's seen too, like the electric vehicle stuff
Yeah.
is failing despite massive millions in funding billions in funding from various governments, both provincial and federal. And then, the crickets in London, Ontario, the largest cricket facility is going under despite, again, millions thrown at it too. So these like alternative energies, the alternative food sources, all of the stuff that the global elite want us little plebs, the little guys, to be mandated to eat and live by, that's all crumbling. It's not successful. It's failing industries. And you're seeing it play out in real time now. And so what's left? Well, we have reliable, consistent, dependable energy sources. And why aren't we literally tapping into them? Like, let's go here, guys.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And then they keep saying there's no business case. Like, it's the dumbest thing ever, because the fact that they wanted us to turn off oil and gas to the United States tells me that, yeah, there's a pretty good business case.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's a pretty strong weapon if you wanted it to be, which means, yeah, there's a business case for it. But we've got this government that just is proceeding at breakneck speeds towards this electric vehicle mandate, which nobody wants. The grid is not equipped to support. And, they're trying to do it through legislation. They're saying like, oh, all the new Canadian cars by 2035 have to be electric. And so then nobody's buying those. So what do? You give money to the electric vehicle automakers and their adjacent battery plants. Billions and billions of Canadian dollars go into that. And then they also go bankrupt because this is Canada. They're unreliable. Like, nobody wants them. You cannot shoehorn us into this through a command and control economy. Honda has delayed a $15 billion electric vehicle project, citing demand. Yeah, no kidding. And they're shifting some CRV output to the United States. So the CRV is their like flagship, affordable, middle of the road, smaller SUV. And their CRV that's was originally supposed to be made in Canada and intended for sale in US markets. Well, they're just cutting out the middleman, and they're just moving production to their Ohio plant because of tariffs, which is exactly what the tariffs are designed to do, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. When Carney went and tried to have that meeting with President Trump, he's like, oh, well, we have all of these things we can offer you, steel, aluminum. And Trump was like, we want to manufacture it here. We are bringing our manufacturing back home. Like, this isn't a difficult concept to understand, especially, Mark Carney claims to be this like seasoned businessman and banker. And it's like Trump was always campaigning on America first. He always said he wanted to bring manufacturing back to the US. And so how is Canada going to insulate itself from that move? And here we are. This is exactly what Trump wants. And Canada is elbows down, cowering at the side, looking at Trump like, he's some sort of mentor. That's the leader that we have, who pales in comparison. Like, I just see the body language between Trump and Carney, and it's scary to think that is who is representing us. I mean, Trudeau had his own problems, do not get me wrong, but at least he was like so ignorant to his own incompetence that it seemed like he had confidence. Right. But Carney doesn't even have that.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Canada's economy isn't heading in the right direction. Inflation's eating away your savings, and government debt is out of control. No politician is going to fix that overnight. With Guildhall Wealth, you can hold real physical gold and silver inside your RRSP. It's a time-tested way to protect your retirement and take back control of your wealth. Call 1-877-8-SILVER or visit guildhallwealth.com/rebel to request your free investor kit. And hey, make sure to mention Rebel News.